Okay, let's just dive right in. We're going to break down a pretty urgent warning that's coming from an AI insider. The argument is that we are right on the edge of a change so massive, most of us haven't even started to wrap our heads around the scale of it. And, it all starts with a simple comparison. I want you to think back to February 2020. Remember that? The world felt normal, right? The virus was just this distant noise happening somewhere else. And then, in what felt like 3 weeks, absolutely everything changed. Well, the person who wrote this piece is saying that's exactly where we are right now with AI. We're in those last few quiet weeks, right before the storm really hits. And look, this isn't just some random opinion. This is coming from someone who has spent years in the trenches building AI startups. They feel like they have a duty to tell the people they care about what is really going on. Because frankly, the polite, cocktail party version of this conversation just doesn't cut it anymore. The gap between what the public thinks is happening and what's happening behind the scenes has gotten dangerously wide. To really understand why this is so urgent, you have to get this. For a lot of people in the tech industry, this isn't a forecast. It's not a prediction. It's a report of what they've already lived through. They're the ones sounding the alarm because they were the first to feel the ground start to shake beneath their feet. I mean, just look at this slide. This shows you the sheer, mind-bending speed of this progress. Back in 2022, AI couldn't reliably tell you what 7 times 8 was. A single year later, it's passing one of the hardest professional exams on the planet. And now look at the jump into 2025 and 2026. This isn't some gentle curve, people. This is a vertical rocket launch. And that insane acceleration, well, it led to a single, stark moment. One day, a new set of AI models dropped that just completely changed the game. And that was the moment the author realized the water wasn't at their ankles anymore. The water was now at their chest. The AI could now do the core, technical, essential parts of their job, and frankly, it could do it better. And listen, we're not just talking about writing a few lines of code here and there. No. We're talking about giving the AI a high-level goal, something like, build me this app. And then you walk away for a few hours, and you come back to a finished product. The AI isn't just writing the code. It's testing the app, it's refining the design, it's fixing its own mistakes until it meets its own standards of quality. So the big question is, why? Why this sudden blistering pace? Well, the answer lies in a concept that, science fiction has been warning us about for decades, but now it's actually becoming a reality. This is the key. The whole thing is a feedback loop. A smart AI helps to build a smarter AI. That smarter AI is then even better at helping build the next version. Each cycle gets faster, and the leaps in intelligence just get bigger and bigger. The folks behind this have a name for it. They call it the intelligence explosion. And here's the kicker. This is not a theory anymore. This is a direct quote from OpenAI's own technical documents. The AI is already helping to build itself. The feedback loop has officially begun. The CEO of their competitor, Anthropic, even says this process is gathering steam month by month. So all of this, it leads to that inevitable, pretty uncomfortable question about our own careers, right? But the thing is, a lot of us are kind of protected by this common and, I think, increasingly dangerous misconception. I'm sure a lot of you have thought this, or something like it. You tried an AI maybe a year ago, asked it a couple questions, and you probably came away unimpressed. It made mistakes, it felt like a toy. And you know what? You were right. Back then. But here's the problem. Judging today's AI based on last year's free model is like judging a modern smartphone by using an old flip phone from 2005. I mean, there is a huge gap. The people who are paying $20 a month for the absolute latest cutting-edge models, they are seeing a completely different reality. And that reality is coming for everybody else very, very soon. So who's affected by all this? The short answer is pretty much any job that happens on a computer. We're talking legal research, financial modeling, writing reports, analyzing medical scans. These aren't jobs of the distant future. AI is already outperforming junior associates and analysts in a lot of these fields today. Okay, I know this all sounds pretty alarming, but the point isn't to feel helpless. The point is to be early. So let's look at a clear, actionable plan to not just survive this thing, but to actually thrive in it. All right, here's the playbook. It starts with getting your hands on the best tools out there and actually using them for your real work. At the same time, you got to build up some financial resilience, double down on skills that are really hard to automate, like relationships and trust, and maybe most importantly, just make it a habit to adapt to new tools all the time. But out of all of these steps, there is one, Just one simple commitment that will put you ahead of 99% of your peers. Just one. 1 hour a day. That's it. And not passively reading about AI, but actively using it, pushing it, trying to get it to do parts of your actual job. If you do this consistently, you will build an intuition for what's possible that almost no one else around you has. Seriously, the bar is on the floor right now. This is your chance to get a massive advantage. This whole revolution is so much bigger than just our jobs. The changes we're talking about here are going to reshape society on a really fundamental level. And the people building the technology, they are acutely aware of what's at stake. Just to really grasp the scale of what's coming, think about this thought experiment from Dario Amodei, who's the CEO of Anthropic. What happens when we create an intelligence of that magnitude? He argues that from a national security perspective, it is the most serious challenge we have ever faced. And that leads to the core dilemma, doesn't it? The upside is incredible. I mean, solving diseases, climate change, poverty. But the downside is equally staggering: unpredictable AI, misused by bad actors. The people building it, they believe we are past the point of no return. We can't stop it, and the potential benefits are just too great to give up on. So, the core message is this. For a very small group of people on the inside, the future has already arrived. For the rest of us, well, it's about to knock on the door. Which, really, it just leaves us with the only question that truly matters. This change is coming, whether we like it or not. The only variable is our preparation. So, are you ready for what comes next?